In this video, you will learn how to identify trend, how to trade a trend, how to continue in trade, and possibly how you could enter. Now, pay keen attention. First thing first that we need to do is we'll need to come to the daily time frame, because the daily time frame controls the lower time frame, because the daily structure is external to the 4 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minute structures. So what does that mean? It means that for the higher time frame structure is an external structure to the lower time frame structure, and vice versa. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So I just want to show us everything on the chart today. I will not beat around about the bush. Okay, so first we are going to talk about storyline before we talk about how we can use the smart money concept to trade the continuation or to also identify the trend. So first thing first is this: if we have this zone, for instance, as our support or resistance level, what next are we waiting for? So we want a candle to come. So for example, we have a candle here, 2 candles on here. Let's say we have a candle here, a buy, a sell, and a buy candles, and usually these candles are opposing candles. So for example, this could be a buy candle. So we have a sell and a buy candle here. So remember, this must happen on the daily time frame. So what else are we looking for? We need to see another of this kind coming down. Okay, in this time around, we want to see it sweeping this low. All right, sweeping this low. So we want to see this candle sweeping this low. So when this happens, this is what we call daily rejecting daily. So we have a daily level rejecting a daily support level. All right, so if you flip this, this is exactly the same thing. If you flip this, this is exactly the same thing, right? So we have a bullish and a bearish candle, and another candle comes in the future and mitigate that level. When that level is mitigated, this is when we have daily rejecting daily. However, we'll need to confirm this level. How do we confirm these levels? It's quite simple. We need to go to a time frame lower, in this case 4-hour time frame. Pay attention. On the 4-hour time frame, what we want to see is a simple breakout, or a complex break of structure. All right, like this. Any of these two that you see on the 4-hour time frame confirms the trend of the storyline, and this is what we say. This is why we say, okay, we have a breakout, and which simply means the start of a new storyline. Having said this as the foundation, we'll go to the chart and I will show you exactly how this applies. So pay attention, screenshot this if you have not understood this yet, and let's move on. So I'm going to do this so that we can understand it clearly. So for example, we have a level here. So let me call this so that we can understand it clearly. Remember the level we talked about. This is what we call a classic V-shape support and resistance level. So what happened? We have a rejection into that level. All right, so we'll go to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we want to identify the breakout. Where is the breakout? This is the breakout. No, it is not a breakout. It is not a breakout. And this is where sometimes some of us, we identify the wrong structure. This structure is not the structure for this particular time frame. So this is the structure for this 4-hour time frame, and this is where we now have our breakout. Now that we have our breakout, there are two things we are waiting for. We can wait for inducement, or we can wait for a break of structure. Right, so let's move on. Now, it is very important that we pay keen attention to what is happening. If we go to a time frame lower, we have our first point of inducement on here. So this is an inducement, all right? And of course, let's wait and see what price will do. So in this case, we want to see price come take out this inducement for the continuation. Take note that we already have an established trend. Another thing we'll need to do is we'll need to go to the daily time frame, for example, and we'll mark out an opposing classic key level. In this case, this is an opposing classic key level. This is an opposing classic key level. What does this mean? This signify that for another trend to start, another storyline we have to begin, and it has to be the same way but in an inverse form. Do you understand? So if we go to the 4-hour time frame, by the way, please, I want you to like the video and let me know what you think in the comment section below so that the video can get to more people. Now, if we have a breakout here, we see, remember, we are sitting on our hands, we are waiting patiently for price to do its thing, and as you can see, price never came to the zone, of course, and this zone is still valid because for us to confirm that okay, we are about to change trend, even this storyline that push price high, we have to create a structure. Okay, so in this case, there was no, look at this, there was no what's it called now, there was no rejection, so that's no longer valid. So we are left with this zone as well, and of course higher prices. Now the next thing we want to do is we still wait. Remember, we also have this as what, a break of structure. So this becomes what, a break of structure. This is a break of structure. So how do we identify this? Now remember, we already have a rejection here, but we need to see an opposing breakout, which would now make it a change of trend, which will, like just the way we have this, all right? But if we don't find it, we'll know that okay, we might likely want to buy. Now of course, that rejection failed, and beyond that, remember, price had not come here, but on this time frame, same time frame, 4-hour time frame, we've seen another inducement. So this is what we call the 4-hour inducement. All right, so we have the inducement here. What else are we looking for? If I go to the 1-hour time frame, I want to mark this whole zone as my entry level. This is the area I want to look for potential buy and potential continuation. However, even though I'm going to look at all of this zone as continuation, this is my actual point of interest, that of course this whole area is my fair value area, because once inducement is taken, price can choose to push up even without mitigating this level. All right, so when I see this, when price come in, for example, if price come here, right, we can buy, but this time we'll have to buy with confirmation. And if price comes here, we can buy, we can buy directly, and we can as well wait for confirmation or buy directly, because this is our point of value. All right, so we have a zone there. We have, of course, another level to the downside here. If we are to mark this, permit me, let me just mark this for the sake of your understanding so that you get it. If we go to 4 hours, okay, yeah, we have it like this. Okay, so let's see exactly what we have. Now wait, remember, like I said, wait patiently for price to do what, to take that. For example, we can as well enter there directly, place our stop loss there, and allow price to give us a higher prices. Now, but we can, like I said, we can wait for confirmation. In this case, let's say we are waiting. Let's allow price to tap into any of our value area. Remember that anything that is happening here is just an internal structure, right? Look at it, they are all happening within that one range candle, for example. All right, So we want price to break out of that zone as well. And okay, so as you can see, we had a tap from immediately price took out that inducement. Another thing we could do is we can go to the 5-minute time frame. Now you really need to pay attention to this. Please smash the like button if you've not done that yet. Pay attention to this, because this is very vital, as it will affect your profitability or increase your losses. Now remember, this was the tap, and of course this is the external breakout. So we'll mark this zone as our external breakout. All right, so let's simply put this as a change in state of delivery. So once we have this, the next thing we are waiting for, what we want our inducement to be taken. So this is inducement and we want it to be taken. All right, so once inducement is taken, what are we expecting? This whole area is a fair value area. These are the order flow area where we want to get involved in price, right? Because price have given us his hand, have shown us his hand that there might be potential movement in market. So price can do anything, but this low will invalidate this particular confirmation. However, remember that we also have a zone here, right? So if price comes here as well, that's also very much valid. So you could say, okay, why are we then looking for setup here? It's simply because we don't know if price will get here or not. So we are trading what price is giving us in the chart. So in this case, where are we looking for buys? Remember, this whole zone is a fair value area, and of course, remember, once inducement is taken, price is liable to move. So of course, we can as well enter off of this zone. Okay, so for example, we can enter from there, we can enter from this candle, for example. Let me show you this candle, but this time is wise to just mark this whole area, for example. All right, and if you are a bit aggressive, of course, you can mark this candle. Now remember, you are not just marking this candle blindly, right? There are other things you have to check, you have to consider as well. Okay, so for example, we have this zone as our breaker. Look at that. We had a fair value gap here, right? An extended fair value gap. We're not talking about all of those right now, right? So what happened? Price can tap you here, or you can enter off of that, right? And if you're entering off of that, then obviously your stop loss will have to be somewhere here. So where are you targeting? You can target this high, target this high, target this high. You can target this high, target this high. All right, now it doesn't mean that you have to target all of those high. All you need to do is you give yourself some breathing space. So for example, I can decide to say, okay, instead of entering there alone, or instead of just entering there, I'll wait for price to come tag me here. All right, so it's a game of business of probability. So, and we don't know if price will come here as well, right? Because the zone that we expect price to come to, we already seen the inducement. We've already seen the inducement. So of course, price can do its thing, but in this scenario, we can put our stop loss here as well. Do you understand? So I'm making this a bit clear for us so that we can understand how this thing is working out. All right, so for example, you see this one played out nicely and price had already hit TP. Remember, you don't just get drowned on the lower time frame. Remember, we are coming from where? The higher time frame. And of course, that was a very, very nice push. So if we go back to the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? We have this zone as what? Our break of structure. Remember, this becomes what? A continuation. This becomes a continuation of what? Our initial breakout. And remember that we've not gotten an opposing trend. This is why we are still looking for buys. So in this scenario, the same thing, the same process, the same thing we're looking for, right? So we just try to see how we can rinse and repeat the same thing repeating in this same process. And of course, when we do with understanding, we tend to get it a bit easier and better. All right, so for example, we had a breakout here, and what is this? We have this as our inducement. This becomes our inducement. So of course, if this is our inducement, they want price to come and take or mitigate any of our value area. Okay, can price come and do something like this? Yes, price can do something like this. However, we are actually working with what price is giving us at the moment, what market is showing us, and that's what we are more interested about. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, for example, remember this ozone becomes what our value area. So what can we do? Same thing, like I said, we can enter here, for example, directly. So I can wait for price to come here, mitigate the zone. I place my stop loss there. I take profit here because this is the highest point. All right, now will price always get here? Of course not. Price will not always get here. So you just have to understand these things and give it both logic and objectivity. It's very important. The most important thing is we are waiting for price to come get this level. If price come and get that level, then we are good to go. So in this case, we are waiting. Remember, we said all of these are just internal movement of price, and we had a massive dip to the downside. Now at this point, you can as well wait for confirmation, right? So you can see price pushed up, pushed down again. Now let's check how you could also get involved and maybe take something off of that particular market. Same thing, the same process, right? So we have a breakout here, or a change in state of delivery on there, and we never had an inducement until this level. So now that we have our inducement here, what are we waiting for? We're looking to buy from where? These are all our value areas, right? So but look at where price reacted from this candle. So of course, this also could be your entry, and same thing, target this high, target this high, and of course finally you can target this high. Like I said, will price always get there? No, it is not guaranteed, but you see this 1 to 3, if you held, maybe you're targeting this high, targeting this high, targeting this high. All right, so of course your minimum target is 1 to 3 minimum. All right, so that's it. And of course, how about this zone? Remember, this is still our value area. So until this low is violated, we are still in the buy. All right, so we are still in the buy. Now this is exactly how you can, right? You can see what price came to do, right? And look at that. And this is why it's important that you know exactly how to place your stop losses as well. All right, okay, so this is the tool I use to place my stop loss as well. So if I use that tool, of course, you see that we'll still be we'll still be safe right there. Do you understand? So basically, this is exactly how you can, catch trends, trade trends, and potentially get something for yourself. So watch this video over and over again, share with somebody you love, and of course the best is yet to come. Now lest I forget, now if you watch this video till this very end, it means you are really interested in growing. You are really interested in increasing in your trading journey. So because of this, I'm going to give you either a 40% off discount or 50% off discount if you are from Nigeria. Then I'm going to give you a 50% off. As a matter of fact, if you are from Africa, I'm going to give you 50% off discount. And of course, if you are from other parts of the world, I'm going to give you a 40% off discount. Now what do you want to do? I want you to simply type, I want financial freedom. Now type this code. Please don't share it with anybody, because this one is for only the people that watch this video, that like have that they want to place value and increase and become profitable and want to learn exactly how to trade. All right, I want financial freedom. So just please, I just type I want financial freedom, and I want financial freedom, and I want to pay for the mentorship. Right, so once you send this, I'm going to know that, oh, you came from this particular video, and I will show you exactly what to do and how you could get in. All right, so thank you so much for joining in. So where will you send it to me? Where will you send this message? Send it to my Telegram channel, check the video description, or send it to my Instagram account, check the video description, or simply leave a comment below, and of course I'm going to send you my Telegram username as well. All right, thank you so much for joining in. I really love you. Thank you. We are on our way to 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, and let's make it happen.